And when they say they're purging people out of the Department of Defense, they're talking about ideologically purging people. The coup is being staged. This is happening. You can't say it's not happening anymore. It is happening. This is according to NBC News. Pete Hegseth is planning on purging the military. The thing that we were afraid of, the thing that we were worried about, is showing up. I want to point out a couple of things. The president has every right to have the cabinet that he wants, and Pete Hegseth has every right to go in and purge military generals. They do. That's built into our Constitution. They're allowed to do it. But that was there was always this understanding that the citizens of the United States would elect people who would not use the federal government as like their personal errand boys. There were a lot of leftovers, and there was a lot of push for Joe Biden to get rid of Trump-appointed people out of the military. He didn't do it. There was even Trump, when he first came into the White House after Obama, he didn't do it. We should all be concerned when it's loyalists on this level everywhere. And when they say they're purging people out of the Department of Defense, they're talking about ideologically purging people. The coup is being staged. This is happening. You can't say it's not happening anymore. It is happening. And when it's happening in the Department of Defense, and when it's happening with Pete Hegseth, my concern is not that the American people will just cave, because I don't think they will. I think the problem is going to be that the American people are not going to cave. The American people right now are getting loud, very, very loud. And when they get loud, people like Pete Hegseth and people like Donald Trump are going to get angry. And when Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump get angry, they try and suppress whatever it is that is angering them. Same with Kash Patel. And they will try and suppress. And that suppression will lead to more anger. And that anger will likely lead to more suppression and eventually violence. And I think what we have to be aware of is that this administration at some point is going to have to fold. They're going to have to capitulate. I have a sneaking suspicion that they're all pussies. I have this sneaking suspicion that they will fold easily because it's the dumbest coup. It's not the right time for a coup. The nation isn't suffering enough for a coup like this to work. The general public might be deceived by Elon going, hey, we're cutting spending, but the general public is not going to hear Democrats are upset about us cutting spending and cutting all these people, and they're lining the streets. Join us for a fight. And they'll be like, wait, hold on. We're going to go to war over spending? I don't think so. I think there's going to be too much pushback. And I hope I'm right. And I might not be right. And there are people who are less optimistic than me who right now probably are disagreeing in the comments. Let's see. Is anybody? Maybe not yet. It is time to get loud. It is time to press. It is time to make sure that people like Pete Hegseth are confronted every time they do a press conference, to the point that they don't do press conferences anymore. And then you say, why won't you do press conferences? And they'll say, because the fake news media keeps being mean to us. And you'll say, toughen up. We'll say, toughen up. And eventually, like, them hiding doesn't work anymore. Let me play this clip real quick, and then Jen, come on up. Here's the clip from NBC News about Pete Hegseth considering firing senior military officers.
Pentagon leadership has shared a list with Republican members of Congress and senior military officials who could be fired. The sources reveal most of those military officials have been either closely associated with Biden's former Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, have worked on DEI initiatives, or have voiced opinions that were viewed as politically out of line with President Trump and his agenda.
That's fucking crazy. The Department of Defense is not a political organization. If you speak, like, this idea that you should silence speech of who speaks out, anybody who is confident in what they're doing, anybody with principles understands that you need people to speak out. You need people to push back. In any organization, it is incredibly important for that operation or for that organization to continue to work smoothly, that the people who work inside of that organization feel like they can give pushback, feel like they can give feedback. Those are the best run organizations. You go talk to anybody who helps company who goes out and helps companies structurally that are struggling. You talk about anybody who goes out and talks about leadership in the corporate world. It's all about giving people the amount of autonomy that they need to do their job, and also the autonomy to come with you and say, this isn't working, I don't like this. A top-down approach from Donald Trump is terrifying, because we'll show some clips the rest of the day, but he is not bright, and he is not all there.
The generals and flag officers are expected to be replaced with nominees who are closer to Hegseth and more aligned with Trump. Pentagon
even the most ardent of Trump supporters, even the ones most dedicated, can't defend this. Remember we covered yesterday Jesse Waters, and I think it's in this clip too, but Jesse Waters saying, oh, Doge, I wanted you to get rid of all the... I liked the DEI stuff, Doge. I liked it when you were just firing people because they were diverse. But could we please not do it to veterans? CNN put this together. Just a little clip of Jesse Waters being a complete hypocrite.
At the Defense Department, we're hearing 50,000 people are at risk of being fired next. 50,000. But listen to one champion of Doge who suddenly changes his tune when the cuts hit home.
He just found out he's probably going to get laid off. He's going to get Doge. And this guy's not a DEI consultant. This guy's not a climate consultant. This guy is a veteran. We just need to be a little bit less callous with the way, Harold, we talk about doging people. Okay, I want that to sink in.
You're arguing with yourself.
No, I am not guilty of that. I finally found one person I knew that got Doge, and it hit me in the heart.
Well, that same guy lecturing on being less callous has been the king of callousness for weeks.
Thousands of bureaucrats woke up today to a big "you're fired." Doge is dishing out spankings like daddy daycare. It's like going to your grandparents' house, throwing out their VCR and their stacks of tapes, just downloading Netflix for them. Here, Grandpa, you just hit this button here and press select. Even the holiday weekend couldn't slow Doge down. There was a huge exodus over at the National Archives. Persnickety librarians were getting Doge silly.
What's persnickety?
The Dewey Decimal System's next. Doge is a blessing from the heavens above.
Doge for thee, but not for me.
Yeah, daddy again, right? The daddy shit is weird. I mean, just the way that they talk about this, the way that they celebrate. It's one thing, like, if it's your beliefs, fine, but the way that they celebrate this, and that's the real point with MAGA. Like, it is entirely just cruelty. It is just a hate group. MAGA specific. I'm not talking necessarily all Republicans, but it literally, they just wait around all day and they want to see us upset. And there's people like that on our side too, but it's weird to see it from like a news anchor.